how's everything in the world of Preview, Jake?
In the world of Preview, mate, it is, mate, I'm actually enjoying it, which is weird. I've been enjoying the challenges of probably stuff that I'd never, like, we're in a time that none of us are going to experience ever again, probably. I don't know. It's a very strange time. But weirdly, I've been enjoying the sort of games that are involved, like, like juggling things, changing our business around. It's become more sort of like intense, but I'm liking that, which is interesting.
Good. Yeah, no, good. And I guess before, like I probably should have said before we started into that about sort of, I guess we're doing a coronavirus podcast episode, aren't we? With like we spend so much time talking that we just thought, you know what, let's get the four of us onto a Zoom and have a bit of a chit chat. There's obviously so much going on, good, bad. We just wanted to kind of just get our thoughts down really, and Previews. It has been an exciting position before all of this started, and I know we've been spending a lot of time talking about what's had to change, the good, the bad, like during this current sort of lockdown situation. But before we sort of jump in, it would be worth just giving, for people that have either not really come across Preview or don't necessarily know the background, tell us a little bit about Preview.
Right. So Preview, I set it up in my garage. Didn't have much money around me at all. I was living with my mum and dad. Was trying to be a pro football player. Unfortunately, got to sort of semi-pro level and didn't get any further.
Me too.
So I thought, what am I? What's my next? What was I good at? And I always used to dress a little bit different to everyone else. Bit more different back then. So when I went into my football changing rooms or whatever else, all the boys would be asking where I got my clothes. So I knew that there was something there for me to sort of, that was my next passion, I think. And then when I got to, I think it's like 22, 21, 22, I thought, right, I want to branch out now. And I set up a brand, didn't have a clue about fashion, not been to fashion college, fashion school. I just knew that I knew what people wanted to, what people liked. So I thought straight away, well, I've got a sort of an advantage there, because that's for me, that's the hardest thing of this brand, is knowing what the people want or our client base. So then I set that up in the garage, found a pattern cutter. She was a friend of a friend. She was at college. She weren't the best. So we was making, I think we was both very young and eager to have a go at something which I love. So we made tracksuits at the beginning, and they, fell apart. I think I still speak to some customers now about, first ever tracksuits worn once and there was holes in them. So I'm not afraid to say that, but that was a learning curve. And I think that's what, if anyone does listen to this chat or want to do a brand or whatever, it's the passion to have a go at things. Don't don't hold back on it, or, don't be scared of making mistakes, because that for me is the key. And where I made shitloads, still make loads today. And I think that's the key to, rather than talking about, I always say, when we first set the brand up, it was, when I bought my first 3 meters is when I started the brand. Like, that is when I had the fabric sitting there on the floor. So now if I create a garment out of it, I can sell that. I can take photos of it. I can take orders. So that's for me where I started the brand, rather than dwelling on a name or, dwelling on just silly little things. That's where I sort of moved the brand forward. So yeah, it all come out of the garage, and then I decided to use a platform that was a reality show, which is not really what I'm about, if I'm honest. But it was a great platform to get something out there. We set up on Instagram. It was like one of the first brands, I think, to be on selling through Instagram. It was like we'd sell through DMs, direct messages. So I'd post a photo like I do now. If you want one of these tracksuits or tops or whatever, please inbox us. So we'd get a bit of traction like that. And then I tested it out with a couple of people that was on the shows before, just sent a bit of product through and had some like interesting engagement with that. But then I got asked to do it myself. So I ended up going on it myself and using the platform, wearing the logo in nearly every scene till they got bored of me and realized that I was just plugging my brand.
Smart.
So
Smart.
as soon as they said you're not allowed to do that anymore because we've got sponsors and stuff like that, I was like, well, I think I'm off. And that was the start for me. But so that was a great platform. But again, there was an idea and there was a game plan behind it. That's what a lot of people sort of understand me as a person. No, I wouldn't really do a brand, go on a show like that necessarily, but there's a game plan behind it. And that's my thing. Have a game plan of how you want to attack something, and go for it. Just because it's a reality show doesn't necessarily mean that it's always that it's going to be a success as a brand or anything like that. I think it's the sort of game plan behind it of what we was about.
And just like, sorry to jump in, Jake, like speaking of sort of game plans, I guess
yes,
no one could have planned the current situation.
no.
And I know probably out of all of us, you and Reese talk hours a day about everything, all things brand, all things marketing. And the topic is this conversation really come from you, Reese. So good to get some context, but it's nice to frame it around that game plan, because as much as I said, everything Preview do is very planned, and there's some amazing plans going forward, and you guys have had some fantastic growth so far. No one could have expected this. So I know, Reese, it'd be good for you to just frame what you wanted this discussion to be about before we then just stuck into kind of what people are doing now.
Yeah, so like you said, Luke, me and Jake do talk quite often, geek out a lot about marketing, Preview, and what other businesses are doing, and how can we improve like what we do for Preview, but also what they do as a whole. And Jake run me. I was in a click and collect queue at B&Q, so I had a bit of time to spare, and we was just basically just chewing the fat of like, it was like Jake had cracked what he'd been doing, and he wanted to like just frame it, and it was like how a Preview talking to their customer and how other brands need to do it or want to do it. And I think like that's so important of Preview's success through such a shit time, is that the way that they've been able to like not change the way they talk, but like really hone in on like the customer and how important talking to that customer through this time is. And I think there was loads of things we were talking about through that conversation. We're probably going to talk about it now, but that was where it stemmed from. It was like, you know what, this is like a blueprint for other businesses to listen to and probably like take note. And that's the whole part of marketing and probably businesses, like how we all work together. Like different brands can learn.
I can butt in on what you're saying there. Sorry, because it's given me a good idea, because it's like when I met you, firstly, it was because it was personable, right? And it's because like I got good energy from you. We worked on the same street. I didn't know that you do what you do. You sort of heard that our brand was around, and it was just like bumping. And it is like, that's personal. And now we've become not only work colleagues, we've become friends, and that's when you get the best out of everyone, right? And I feel that's the similar thing that's happening now. Like for us as a brand, it's like, all right, yeah, we can sell clothes, and we want to sell clothes, and we have to sell clothes to stay alive as a business. As humans, you need it, right? But at the same time, it's like, what can I do differently now that I was doing before, but I didn't have time to do? It's now I spend half my day writing back to customers. I say to the team, every comment, please reply back, because we are a brand that's personal. Like I'm one of you. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's not many brands that when I set up Preview, I couldn't really relate to any brands as such. Do you know what I mean? There was either too involved in fashion, or like they too fashion for me, and I couldn't I looked at the CEO and thought, it's not really, I don't understand it, but whereas with what I wanted to do with Preview is make it about the people, about you can do what I'm doing, you can do what I'm doing. You can be involved in the brand. It's very family orientated. My mum, my missus, my baby, you guys as friends now. That's what I think is happening via social media now, and that's how you can gain the most. Talking to them every day. Use as much time to speak to your customer as worrying about sales online, because the sales will come when they're loyal to you. So
yeah,
that's sorry.
No. I think that's such a great point, and I think it's probably worth being clear. And you said it there, that this really, the people behind the brand, it's been that since day one. And I think as much as things have changed during coronavirus, and it'd be good to get some sort of specific examples from you, but they haven't sort of like radically changed. Like, you can see some brands out there that, if we're all being completely honest, haven't really given a shit about the human side of their brand. Whereas now they're almost playing catch up, and they're going, right, crap, I need to spend some time focusing on my customers and my relationships. Whereas that has always been at the core of Preview, and that does show. Like Reese is case in point. He lives and breathed the brand. Before we even started working together and knew each other, Reese had put Preview at the top of his personal list of what clients he would want to work with at PK. So there is that loyalty, and there is that club, and there's that Preview sort of family, which has only been sort of cemented more during the current situations, which I think is credit to what you guys do.
Yeah, no, I feel like that more. Like, I feel weirdly with my own social media, my own personal one as well. It's like I've just opened it up. I post before. I thought I had to post stuff. I've got an image to so in terms of like the way I look, and it's got to be like cool. Now I post a bit of fashion, a bit of family, but it's all led around my brand, because that's my life. That's what I work on every single day, and that's what I have. So it's like, and then there was a part of me that's like, well, don't go too much about the posting about the brand, because it's still a bit of a touchy subject. So too
That's all right.
Part of lockdown
That's
life.
the beauty of lockdown life. Is the little baby comes a calling, you've got to run off. But
keep Jude quiet, Reese.
I just I've tied him up. No,
it's good though. But I think they're the sort of things. That's all right, mate. Don't worry. You got lockdown life, right?
That's exactly it.
But no, it's good, and I think you're right. It would be good to. I tell you what would be useful is to run into, just to get that lowdown from you, Jake, of sort of like what has changed. Like, you guys are still doing fantastically well. The momentum is still there, and do you think some of it is due to, like, so one category that we know is doing really well is people are working from home, and they still want to be comfortable. They want to be stylish. They might not be going out, but they still want to look and feel good. Like for you guys, what if we focus just on social, for example, which is massive for you guys? Like, what has changed? What have you been doing more of, or what's maybe?
I think when we first found out about, or sort of had an indication that this was getting serious, right? It was like, firstly, everyone in the office health, and worrying about, sending people, getting them home as quickly as we possibly can, because you could do your own sort of analysis on what was going on. But then I think what changed it for us is that as soon as we see that, I quickly grabbed a sofa. It sounds crazy, and dunked it in the middle of the office, and just shot everything again just on a sofa, and said, we're gonna have to make this Preview lounge for a minute, because that's the way it's going. Everyone's going to be essentially sitting at home. So it's weird, because it is like, it's the maddest sort of time, because it is a time where it's like, everyone's worrying about health, and people dying and stuff like that. But then also it's like, my brand can die as well, which then it makes my life a lot more difficult. So it's like a bit of a balance of being correct and safe, but then also having to worry about the brand at the same time. And it's like, how do we do that? So we do all our shoots in the as what we could in the office on the sofa. And now I have to take selfies and sit on the. Missy takes the photos of me at home, and it becomes more personable. Now I didn't know how that was going to work because I still want the brand to look at a level that I want it to look like. You know, I want it to look luxury and lovely the way we go and do shoots. But at the same time, you've got to adapt with what's going on. And fortunately, it's worked because more than ever, I think real is rare. Like no one, like you can, you know, at home we sit there on a sofa, and it's like, well, I get that. I don't get you actually going on a shoot, maybe in like these crazy places, because it's not as relatable in a way. Do you know what I mean? But like, whereas this, we're all doing the same thing. Let's be relatable. Let's show what we're about. We have to take selfies. We have to take photos of with a white background and the, you know, just hanging from the walls here or whatever. So it's like, I think, but that's what's nice about it, is that they can actually understand what's going on, and they get that we're normal people, and we're a normal brand, and without them it wouldn't be possible. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like,
I think for me that like the reason why it's been a success through this shit time is because of the community you have. And I think a lot of brands, high street brands, are trying to now do it, or have been trying to do it, and change their messaging. And it's, to Luke's point, it's like, I think it's because of the foundations that you guys have done, is what have put in place, is the reason why it has been a success. And that's why, potentially, not knowing these high street brands, but probably why some of these high street brands, it looks a bit fake and cheesy, because it's just not what they've been pushing.
That's the thing is with that, like the product being like pushing loungewear makes perfect sense of like the time that you're in, everyone's spending time at home. But then that's such a small part of it. And if you just had the product and none of the audience behind it, it wouldn't have worked as well. Like Luke Reese said, putting all the groundwork in and building up that audience over that time is what other brands have probably missed out on.
Yeah. It comes back to that being authentic, right? Isn't it? Is that I think people can see through it. In the world we live in now, people see through people, people see through brands. But I think the brands that have always been authentic, people know that now. Like probably in all of our lifetimes, people have never been more like human. Like, I know that sounds a bit weird, but like you were just saying, Jake.
I understand completely. That's
And I think it's a great way, whether it's the...
Sorry.
No, go on, mate. You go.
Sorry, I've got a kitten as well, and it's just like never ending.
I reckon a lot of people are getting dogs and cats at the moment, I think.
Yeah. They don't transfer COVID. So
well, you're also at home, like you're at home to potty train them and everything, aren't you?
Yeah, I was saying that they should be putting, like, people should be able to apply to take on dogs, like, whilst this is happening, like RSPCA and stuff, go in and look after them, like take them home, because they're good to relax and take away like anxiety and tension as well. Anyway, back to
I think
ideas.
And that's the beauty of it, and that's why it's good to just kind of jump on these discussions and geek out, right? Like we do it every single day, but I think the aim of our podcast has always been to obviously give our opinion on stuff and just help people, but the number one objective really is to just help people do their jobs better. So like if people tune into this and they're thinking about how they can push their brand forward, not even just through this, but push their brand forward in general. I think there's some fantastic examples, and it'll probably be worth talking, because this is a hot topic that probably every marketer's having now, which is what activities should they stop doing and what should they like carry on doing. It might be worth jumping into you, Marcus, from like an advertising perspective, like search, social. What's the sort of landscape looking like right now?
Lots of people pulled out of advertising, search and social. For some reason, like stock issues, people just didn't have anything to sell. Some people had to like pause all their staff because it wasn't safe. Like there's reasons like that to pause, which is obviously unavoidable. But I think where possible, even where it is possible to carry on advertising, carry on selling stock, people have still pulled out, which I think is a shame, because like we're talking about now, there's loads of opportunity to still do good work if you do it in the right way. And I think there's still opportunity to sell products like talking about Preview. Our ads are not really not like super pushy with sales. It's more kind of like we've talked about, our tone of voice is more like being part of the community, and it's all kind of building on that loyalty element. And that's why I think it's working. I think email is a really strong channel at the moment. Like I think in general, open rates are up like 40% on emails at the moment. Obviously, partly because people have got a little bit more time on their hands, but secondly, because people are engaging with brands that they're loyal to. Like the other side of this we haven't talked about is people actively want to support their favorite brands as well. Like people want to give them a helping hand if they can. Like I'm a big drinker, like, and I love my local pubs. Like I will support my local pubs however I can in this time, because I'm loyal to those. It's the same with fashion and beauty if you want. So I think again, like it all just comes back to building that loyalty up long term. And I think you said it just now, Luke, it's not just through this as well. Like when this finishes, you can't just go back to being like one and done marketing. Like I've got this sale, now on to the next new customer. Hopefully this is a lesson for everyone always, like focus on building loyalty, because when things like this happen, it's really important to have that.
Yeah, agree. And it's never been more important for businesses to like look after their customers, not new customers, I suppose. Like it's concentrating on both, but obviously looking inside yourself of your community is probably like the ones that are going to like stand by you the most.
Yeah,
We were
I
saying
think
the other day
to new customers at the moment, I think it's a little bit more difficult. That's why, and I think a lot of like to go back to your original question, Luke, like the advertising landscape. I think a lot of the reason people have pulled back is because all their marketing is to new customers, and they're like the big high street brands are worried of looking like they're capitalizing on this. So then maybe that's why they're pulled back. But I think in general, people are not bothered about advertising as long as it's not like taking the piss and like really looking like you're capitalizing on this situation. Like people are not upset by advertising. People know that business has got to go on. And I think like acknowledging the situation, like it's not business as usual at the moment, like acknowledging that, and like Prévu are doing, and like a lot of brands are doing well. It's absolutely fine to carry on advertising, and no one expects, I don't think a lot of consumers expect brands to just stop advertising altogether.
Yeah.
On that, just on that point, I'll throw that question to you, Jake, around sort of the importance that you guys put on acquiring like brand new people coming into the brand versus like engaging, nurturing and marketing to your customers. Like how does that balance, not even just now, how has that always sat with you guys?
More so now, obviously. Not more so. Obviously, we've always been worried about our customer and making sure we get the best out of it. But now it's like what you said earlier. I'm loyal to certain brands, either brands that I know through social media or I've bought from them, or like you know, it's like you become that loyal person. So it's for me, they're both as important as each other. Obviously, we need new business and new customers to come in, and I agree. I don't think there's, how many times do you really think, for fuck's sake, I've seen another marketing campaign? I don't really, to be honest with you. I mean, you get X amount because obviously a lot of it's targeted, as you guys know more than me. But it's like, I think more than ever, obviously the database that you have is your core, and it's what is going to get you through this tough situation. New ones will come along when they see that you're speaking to old customers. That's what I believe. When people see you replying to comments, when people see you engaging with them, when people see you replying to, I don't know, a story, then that makes another new customer think, you know what, that's a cool brand, or I like that. Because I always say to the office, I said, I like certain brands. If I write on a brand's page and they like it, or they write back to me, I'm like, oh, that feel great. And that's how the brand should be thinking. Then that's made me think, oh, actually, do you know what? I want to go and buy a top from there or a tracksuit from there, because they've supported me. And it's all crazy, the world that we live in, over likes and comments. But it's the world more so now than ever. We're all sitting indoors on a phone, on a computer, trying to find new stuff, trying to find new ideas. And more so than ever, because weirdly, at the beginning, I said there was a lot more time, but it seems to have picked up now. Similar sort of is in the office, but more so now the world's somewhat stopped and you can think. And I think that's what's important about this time. If you've got ideas and stuff like that, and you know, you can actually execute them with a bit of time now, and everything's slowed down. You know, obviously on e-commerce, but just life in general, we can sit back and go, what do I want to do? You know, and I think that's the
I think that's such a great point about things slowing down. Like business is still going very fast, but for you guys, for PK, there's obviously still loads and loads going on, but we do 100% have more time on our hands now, more downtime. No one has the commute. Like there's a lot of thinking time, and it's actually you started off this session, Jake, by saying actually I know there's a lot of shit going on, but you're actually quite enjoying this time, and I think I would agree. I think you've got to realize the state of the situation, but you've also got to, you can't just be negative all the time. Like you want to stay positive, and there's so many silver linings, if you can say that. And I don't mean that in a horrible way, but like there's positives, and we can all spend time on the business and think about how we're pushing our respective businesses forward. So there is a lot of like positives that are going out of it, and we wish everyone kind of the best through this situation. But just on that particular bit, Jake, like what's kind of been the biggest bit of thinking that you've been doing right now?
I think being able to adapt quickly with that sofa thing was one of the key, because we was the first one to say that loungewear. I think loungewear is obviously that term slowing down a little bit, but then we're finding other areas we're trying to get. You know, it's difficult to stock at the minute. That's for us as a business, it's very difficult to. It's like it's become like trading. Like it's like, where can we get 50 units from of that? And I'm a bit of a trader. I like that stuff. I think it's quite interesting, fun, and like what you said, back to this is a business chat. So my heart goes out to anyone affected and stuff like that. That is, we know that, and so this is about business and about the excitement that I'm getting out of something completely different that I've never sat in my house for longer than like
no one has.
So but for me to actually have this time, not only for business, but to concentrate on my mind and my body and getting myself completely right. So I'm going on great runs and I'm going on bike rides, and for the first time I actually feel mentally strong, whereas I think I was losing my mind a little bit with how much work I was doing. And I think this is giving me that mind space to go, actually, you know what, worry about, even after all this is over, I'm going to concentrate on my training and my mind as much as I am with my business, because it's so important.
Well, they directly affect, right? Don't they? Like they say, like the healthier your body, the healthier your mind, the more effective you are in all of your life. So I think that is one big thing that hopefully will, for everyone, continue through this. Just before we sort of finish up, Jake, I just wanted to say, I know you guys have still been pushing lots of new products. You've got a nice new hat on, right? What's the story? They're not officially launched, are they? What's the story behind them?
The truth is, they're a kids cap.
Are they?
They're a kids cap. So I've got. We had an event and we had them going into stores. Then obviously all this madness happened. The event stopped. It was at Selfridges. So we was going to give some out to kids and stuff like that. But the shape, when they've arrived, the shape of it is like the bollocks. I love it, right? So I was like, I don't know if we can sell them. So I'm going to gift them out with each tracksuit as an extra, as a nice little logo piece, because I think they look all right. I like it.
I like it.
Right. And everyone's been asking me for them, but I don't really want to, the quality's decent. It's not bad, but it's like it's a kid's cap. So, but it's cool.
Yeah. No, I think they look sick. I would not have guessed that's a kid's cap. Even though you've got a really small head.
I know. I have got a small head as well. I'll send you one. You might see how it looks on you. Test it out first.
It won't fit on me. My hair's too long, and yeah, I'll have one. I'll have one for the mantelpiece. I think that'd be a sick addition.
Yeah, a little souvenir.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's been really good to chat.
Before you go, I want to know how you're doing. How's everyone in your business doing?
Yeah, sorry, Luke, go on.
No, go on, you go, mate.
No, I was probably say the same. It's tough. I think we've had to adapt like you guys. We've had to make some decisions. I think like as a business the size that we are, we're 11. Cash flow is king, but yeah, we're doing well. A lot of our clients that we're working with are still trading and performing well. There's been some which, unfortunately, in the travel and tourism sector, has been tough for them. But like touch wood, it's going okay. We're using our time that we've got spare to put in place a lot of processes that we wanted to put in that we've never had time to do. So like as the three of us, we're hopefully when things go back to normal, there's so many processes in place that it's going to run a lot smoother.
It's very similar. It's very similar in terms of like our relationships with our clients have become so important. Like what we're doing now, just having a chat, and the way that we've been speaking to you throughout this time, and that's similar for most of our clients. Is that we are on very good relationship, and it's a very strong relationship. We get that it's a very difficult time for everyone, but we're both here to support each other, sort of thing. And I think whether you're selling hats or you're selling marketing services like us, it's all down to the relationship again.
Yeah, 100%. And I think going back to that with our customers online is one thing. Also, we work with some amazing stores that have supported us amazingly with through this situation. And you know what, after it, and we've done the same with other people, helped them out with stock and stuff like that. That it's that togetherness that will get us through it as brand, as people, as stores. And then when you come out of this the other side, yeah, it's going to take some building and a lot of hard work and probably a lot of ups and downs, but you'll be stronger with these people that you are working with. And I think that's a key point, mate. And I think that's like even us, we've juggled it together, we've managed to work it out, and then after it we'll go all the way and we'll turn around and say what a learning curve that was.
I'll quickly finish on it's linked to that, but I think I once did a ski trip with clients, and I honestly believe that the best way to get to build a really solid relationship with a client is sitting at the top of a black run after a couple of beers, because once you get down that ski run, you've bonded, and people do bond through stressful and crazy situations. So it's going to be we need to get through this. There's still the final bits, but no, it's going to be exciting how everyone comes through this at the end. But I'm just conscious of our clock ticking down on Zoom. We should upgrade next time. But it's been really good to chat. I know it's been long. I think it said last minute at 2 minutes. But it's been really good to chat. This is obviously the first edition of the lockdown version of the Audience Marketing Show. But it's been good to chat. And all the best, Jake. Keep well. Love to the family and the kitten.
Another one. Yeah,
100%.
We'll be back again.
Yeah,
we'll definitely do it. You take care, chaps.
Take care. Keep going. Bye, mate.
Keep going.